Yesterday, Wednesday, a state board rejected the Times Square casino bid from Jay-Z in Roc Nation and those companies that I mentioned.
And there's a theme in Queens, and I know Nas is a part of this. Queens get the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again. I just had to rub that in.
Did I lie? Did I not tell you them crackers was not finna get Jay-Z no damn casino in New York City? Did I not tell y'all that? This man done would've took a loan against his house because they wouldn't even give him a loan to go and put a bid in on the casino because he had the owner of Caesar's Palace and then he had an ex-federal informant and mob ties down there trying to put a bid on a casino to bring it to Broadway.
Jay-Z is heated right now, and honestly, who can blame him? Picture this. Dropping your billionaire name, your brand, your entire New York legacy on a massive Times Square casino project, only for the city to pull the plug before it even takes off. Then, out of nowhere, just a few days later, Nas, the same Nas who dropped Ether and torched Jay back in the day, gets approved for his $5 billion Queens casino plan. The timing? Way too perfect to be a coincidence. And if that wasn't already spicy enough, Queens Borough President Donovan Richards straight up rubbed salt in the wound, bragging to reporters, "Queens gets the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again." Like, excuse me? That's not just shade, that's a full-blown mic drop aimed right at Jay. The city basically told him to take a seat while Nas gets to cash in and shine. Now the streets are buzzing, fans are connecting dots and whispering that this ain't just business, it's personal. Some are saying it's giving deja vu from their legendary beef days, Takeover versus Ether, where pride and power were on the line. People can't help but feel like the universe just handed Nas another win, and Jay-Z's gotta be fuming watching it all play out. Here's the breakdown. Jay was backing a massive Caesar's Palace casino in Times Square, and we're talking billions on the line. He pitched it like the crown jewel of New York, the kind of move only Hov could pull off.
With their decision, as they obviously voted against the casino.
You know it. We met the standard and then some, and the only one with courage to stand up is the governor and the mayor appointees, and everybody else runs and hides.
But the community wasn't buying it. Broadway folks came swinging, residents pushed back, and the advisory board shut it down cold. The whole thing collapsed before it even left the boardroom, and now Nas is out here winning where Jay couldn't. What a plot twist. And just like that, poof, Jay-Z's Times Square empire dream went up in smoke. It's wild because Jay doesn't take public L's like this. He spent decades crafting that image of being the smooth operator, the one who always wins, always thinks 10 steps ahead. So to see him get shut down before his plan even made it to the final round, that's not just embarrassing, that's a hit to the whole mogul persona he's built brick by brick. What really stings? Jay wanted Manhattan, he wanted the flashing lights, the Broadway crowds, the big tourist dollars, the ultimate New York power move. But instead, the city basically slammed the door right in his face, and here's the kicker. Just days later, Nas walks in cool as ever and gets the green light for his Queens casino plan. Like, you can't make this up, the timing is brutal. For Jay, this wasn't just a business rejection, it was the start of a revenge story in real time, because if there's one thing about Hov, it's that he never forgets a loss. You better believe he's plotting something behind the scenes right now. Meanwhile, while Jay's Times Square project was going down in flames, Nas was quietly building an empire in his own backyard. Queens Resorts World at Aqueduct with Nas on board just got the full green light. And this ain't no side hustle. This is a $5 billion mega plan that's about to turn Queens into a mini Vegas.
The future is not something you wait for, it's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still. Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy, it's opportunity, it's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers, not just to win, but to build a future once imagined. This isn't just business, this is legacy. And now, it's time to invest in us. Because the future doesn't ask for permission, it moves with purpose. From our chairman to our newest employee, we're committed to Queens. And in Queens, the future is now.
They're talking live table games, poker, blackjack, craps, the whole deal, plus a massive concert hall and even a sports academy backed by NBA legend Kenny the Jet Smith. This isn't just a casino, it's a full-blown entertainment empire. And Nas, he's got equity in it. He's hands-on, shaping the vision himself. The man is literally turning his home turf into his own playground. When Nas spoke on the project, you could feel it wasn't just another business move, it was personal. He said it was a win for the community, that it's going to create jobs, uplift families, and build the next generation of leaders. Then he hit everyone with that power line. Clearly, with this project, the world is ours. Like, come on, that's not just confidence, that's a flex, especially with the timing. Jay gets denied in Manhattan, and Nas comes through in Queens like a hometown superhero. Fans wasted no time clowning Jay online, saying stuff like, Nas ethered him again, but this time with business receipts. The memes are crazy right now, and honestly, they've got a point, because when you stack up the timing, this doesn't feel like just two rappers chasing billionaire dreams, it feels personal. For Jay, this isn't about a casino anymore, it's about losing to Nas again. See, Jay's whole image is built around being the Brooklyn boss who played chess while everyone else played checkers. From Rockefeller to Roc Nation, from Marcy Projects to billionaire mogul, his brand screams strategy and dominance. So taking an L like this, especially to Nas, that's gotta burn. And here's the wild part. Nas has a pattern of popping up just when everyone counts him out and flipping the script. Back in the day, Jay tried to clown him on Takeover, calling him washed and irrelevant.
What was your thoughts when you heard the song?
This motherfucker, he's going crazy. This motherfucker going crazy. Oh, yo.
But Nas wasn't going for it. He fired back with Ether and dragged Jay's name through the mud so hard it flipped the entire hip-hop narrative. Now, fast forward years later, and it's deja vu all over again. Jay goes corporate, aims for Times Square, and Nas swoops in from Queens with the winning hand. History just repeated itself, but this time, the battlefield is business, and Nas walked away with another W. This whole casino drama feels way too familiar. It's like deja vu with dollar signs. Jay sets up this flashy Times Square empire, thinks he's about to claim the city again, and then boom, denied. And right on cue, Nas comes sliding in from Queens, the so-called underdog borough, and walks away with the win. You couldn't write a pettier plot twist if you tried. But to really get why this cuts so deep, you gotta rewind back to where it all began, the roots of their feud. It didn't start with business or billions, it started with something smaller, but way more personal. Back in the mid-1990s, Nas was already the golden child of New York hip-hop. He dropped Illmatic in '94 and instantly became the king of lyricism, the rapper's rapper. Meanwhile, Jay-Z was still hustling for his spot. He came out with Reasonable Doubt in '96, and yeah, it's legendary now, but back then, it barely cracked the charts. The streets respected him, but he didn't have that mainstream crown yet. Then came the moment that lit the fuse. Jay wanted Nas to appear in his video for Dead Presidents, but Nas never showed up. Instead, Jay just went ahead and sampled Nas's voice for the hook without asking. Straight bold move. And Nas? Oh, he definitely wasn't feeling that. That one decision planted the seed of tension that never really went away. From then on, it was like Jay was always chasing Nas's crown, trying to prove he was the next great king of New York, while Nas looked at him like a younger challenger who needed to stay in his lane. That silent rivalry turned into a cold war that lasted years. And as y'all can see, the pattern never stopped. Jay's got this thing where he always tries to one-up Nas while Nas waits patiently, then steps back in just at the right time to remind everyone that Jay-Z might be powerful, but he's not untouchable. Things really hit another level after Biggie's death, when the title of King of New York was suddenly wide open. That's when the shots stopped being subliminal and started landing direct. The tension became war, and hip-hop's greatest rivalry was born.
Of how you made this beat.
I was at one of those conventions, like a How Can I Be Down or something like that, and I think Nas' album had came out, and every car that was driving by was playing Whose World Is This, and I, and the pianos and the drums and the whole cadence of that record had me like, yo, this is amazing, I want to make a song like that.
After Biggie's death in '97, the whole city was asking one question: who's next to wear the crown of New York? And that's when the quiet tension between Jay-Z and Nas exploded from low-key rivalry to an all-out power struggle. Jay saw himself as the natural heir, dropping consistent albums, collaborating with heavy hitters, and building his empire one calculated move at a time. He was determined to prove he was the next king of New York, no debate. Meanwhile, Nas already had that chosen one aura. Illmatic made him untouchable in the streets, but his follow-up albums didn't hit with the same fire, and people started whispering that maybe Nas had fallen off. And guess who helped push that idea? Jay! He wasn't shy about adding fuel to the fire, dropping slick subliminals on tracks like Where I'm From, subtly painting himself as Biggie's successor while hinting that Nas was old news. Nas, of course, wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back with his own little shots, like on We Will Survive You, where he hinted Jay was trying too hard to grab Biggie's throne. The tension was thick and the fans loved every second of it. Suddenly, the streets were split right down the middle. Brooklyn versus Queens, Jay-Z, the hustler turned mogul, versus Nas, the poetic visionary from the projects. It wasn't just rap anymore, it was about who owned New York's legacy. And then came 2001, the year that changed hip-hop forever. Jay-Z finally said, forget the subliminals, and went straight for the jugular. He dropped Takeover live at Summer Jam, calling Nas out by name, claiming he only had one classic, and flat out declaring his career was over. The crowd went wild. For a second, it really looked like Jay had claimed victory right there on that stage. But Nas wasn't going out like that. Oh no, he came back swinging with ether, and when I say he went for blood, I mean it. He didn't just respond, he dismantled Jay-Z bar by bar, line by line, and flipped the whole story on its head. The entire hip-hop world froze when Ether dropped. It wasn't just a diss track, it was a moment, a lyrical knockout that reminded everyone exactly why Nas's name would forever be written in New York history. Nas obliterated Jay-Z on Ether. No mercy, no filter, just straight lyrical fire. He dragged Jay's credibility, his image, and his entire legacy line after line. Fans couldn't believe how cold it was. The track hit so hard it didn't just end a beef, it changed hip-hop slang forever. Ethered literally became the new word for getting destroyed. That's how iconic it was. And now, fast forward to today, this casino loss, it feels like Ether Part 2. No exaggeration needed, the parallels are too clean to ignore. Jay moving with that same overconfident swagger, talking big about Times Square like it was already his, and then boom! Nas swoops in again with the win nobody saw coming. It's like history looping itself in real time. Of course, Jay didn't take that first L quietly back in the day either. He came back swinging with Super Ugly. But that's when things got messy. Instead of keeping it lyrical, he went for the jugular, bragging about sleeping with the mother of Nas's daughter. Yeah, he really thought that was gonna score him points. But oh no, it backfired badly. Fans weren't impressed, critics weren't impressed, nobody was feeling it. And the moment that sealed it, even Jay's own mom called him out. She made him phone into Hot 97 and publicly apologize on air for crossing the line, like, when your mama tells you to clean it up, you know it's gone too far. That was the moment everything shifted. People stopped seeing Jay as the smooth mogul and started viewing him as the aggressor.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas. I'm gonna go with Jay.
From Queens, gotta go Nas, man. Okay.
I say Nas.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Taking a shot already? Easy to me. Jay-Z?
Nas all day. Let's go.
Jay-Z.
Nas or Jay-Z? Nas.
Damn. Jay-Z.
Nas or Jay?
Meanwhile, Nas became the fighter, the survivor who refused to back down no matter how ugly it got. And that's the same energy people are feeling again right now, with Jay taking another L and Nas quietly stacking another legendary win. And honestly, that shift in energy is exactly why their rivalry never really died. Every single time Jay-Z tried to bury Nas, Nas flipped the script and made him look out of touch. It's like no matter how powerful Jay got, Nas always had a way of humbling him, reminding the world that legacy can't be bought. But here's where it gets wild, because as nasty as their beef got, it didn't last forever. A few years later, both men pulled off one of the most shocking moves in hip-hop history. After years of back and forth, after some of the most brutal diss tracks the culture had ever heard, Jay-Z and Nas actually squashed the beef. And they didn't do it in some quiet behind-the-scenes business meeting. Nope, they did it live on stage for the whole world to see. In 2005, Jay was headlining his I Declare War concert. Everyone thought he was about to unleash more shots, maybe call out new rivals, maybe even restart old ones. But instead, he shocked the crowd by bringing out Nas as a surprise guest. The second Nas walked on stage, the crowd lost its mind. These two men who once wanted to end each other's careers were suddenly standing side by side, shaking hands, performing together like nothing had ever happened. It was one of those moments that went beyond music. It was pure history. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. After all the venom, all the disrespect, and all the chaos, they were now business partners, even collaborating on tracks like Black Republican and Success. It was like watching two kings call a truce on the battlefield. But here's the catch. Peace doesn't mean the competition disappeared. That quiet tension, that unspoken rivalry, it never really went away. It's been simmering under the surface for years, even as both men built empires in their own lanes. And now, fast forward to today with this whole casino situation blowing up, yeah, it's starting to feel like that old truce just expired. The gloves might not be off yet, but the energy, it's definitely shifting. And here's the part people aren't talking about enough. This whole thing isn't just Nas versus Jay-Z anymore, it's Queens versus Brooklyn all over again. If you know New York hip-hop history, then you already know what that means. Brooklyn has always been about glitz, power, and that big stage spotlight. Jay, Biggie, the Barclays Center. It's all about image, luxury, and domination.
It was met with the disrespect, but I'm really sorry for for the other people involved. The other people involved. Because it was either that or we would see each other somewhere and it would be like, I don't know what happened.
Meanwhile, Queens has always been the gritty underdog, the borough that breeds fighters and storytellers. LL Cool J, Mobb Deep, Nicki Minaj, and of course, Nas. So when Jay's Times Square casino plan got shut down right in the heart of Manhattan, and then Nas swooped in and locked down a $5 billion win in Queens, the symbolism was too loud to ignore. It's like the city itself was saying, Brooklyn fumbled, Queens carried. You can feel that borough pride running deep again. For fans who lived through the Ether era, this feels like deja vu in the craziest way. The same energy, the same tension, the same comeback story, just on a bigger stage. But what really twists the knife for Jay is that this isn't just Nas one-upping him, it's Nas doing it in front of the whole city, on his own turf, and the crowd, they're loving every second of it. Jay's the kind of man who doesn't forget humiliation, ever. He might play it cool, but behind the scenes, he's plotting. So maybe this isn't about rap anymore. Maybe this new era of their rivalry is moving out of the booth and into the boardroom. Forget battle tracks, it's about billion-dollar deals now. And once again, Queens is standing tall while Brooklyn's licking its wounds. And there you have it, another wild twist in one of hip-hop's most legendary rivalries. From the streets to the charts and now to billion-dollar business moves, Jay-Z and Nas keep proving that their story is far from over. Queens just scored a massive W, and Brooklyn's pride just took a hit, but knowing Jay, this isn't the end. It's just the calm before the next big play.